Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Batman Detective Comics, that anniversary issue. And I did get the variant issue, so the Catwoman issue. Yeah, so this is mega size. It seems like half a trade, honestly. It's a pretty big book here. It took me a little while to read it also. This was the last issue I actually read because I was like, oh, I kind of wanted to save this for last. Not because I was actually really anticipating this issue. I was like, this is the issue I want to read for last. So I did leave this last on the pile, though I could really concentrate on this whole big book and say, oh no, I have this other book I have to read. I definitely wanted to read a bigger book towards the end. But before I start talking about Batman Detective Comics, just want to give you guys a little update. I have a Young Justice live show coming up tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. A humongous show. We're going to have a lot of the Young Justice reviewers that you know and love. And also Greg Weisman himself on my channel, Comic Uno, so definitely go check that out. And guys, also, I have Comic Uno episode 30, and that's the show where I review all the comics I read this week in one show. And here are those exclusive comics. We got Green Lantern, issue 27. Inhumanity, The Awakening, issue 2. Morning Glories, issue 36. We got to see Green Arrow, issue 27. Earth 2, issue 19. And Smallville Alien, issue 2. So definitely go check out those reviews. Hey guys, don't forget to subscribe to Comic Frontline because Dark Avenger Inc. is closing its doors February 11th and moving to Comic Frontline, so be sure to subscribe to Comic Frontline. But let's talk about Batman Detective Comics issue 27. And also wore my Detective Comics shirt today because of it. I was pretty excited for this. This is one of the most anticipated issues for the week for me, and there's a lot of story here, so let's get to it. I'm going to talk about all the stories, and as I talk about the story, I'm kind of going to review it in the middle, so I'm going to talk story by story. Alright, so we got about like 6 stories here. Yes, 6, no, actually 7, I think. I'm not going to count. I think it's either 6 or 7. Alright, so the first story we get to see is Bruce, or, Batman actually being Batman for really some of his first missions. He describes why is he Batman. And some of the reasons is a little confusing and contradicting, but it's still fun to read those type of repetitive narration that I think we all do enjoy. And that's really what the first story is him being Batman, like, kind of for the first time. It seems like it's definitely his first year of being Batman, and he talks about why he's Batman. And again, it's a little repetitive, the issue, but it's fun. I love, I like some good repetitiveness. Then we got the second one that was totally meta. The second story, well, I will talk about the first story first. The first story I did enjoy. Again, it was just a little repetitive for me, and I think I'm being repetitive by saying that, but the art was actually really good. It felt like an older style. I liked it. Not too much. I like this style. I did. I liked the costume. It was very natural, not too detailed. I liked it. So the first story was pretty good. There's some hit and misses for it, but it was a pretty good first story. Alright, so the second story again was the meta story. The story inside a story. We get to see that his old, time adventures, like him going with Robin. We got the POW sign, Penguin being kind of a really bad villain. We got the cheesiness in it. And then he gets sprayed by Scarecrow, and he's in a comic book store. He's like, why am I in a comic book store? He realizes, like, all a dream, he's just sleeping, and he's celebrating his anniversary in a comic book store, which I thought was really cool. It was kind of out there, that story, I will say. In the beginning, it was a little draggy, because I'm not big fan of that cheesy Batman, Adam West style Batman, but I like the ending of it. We got 75th anniversary, which every story really is about. It's about how Batman got to the place he is, celebrating 75 years, or, how his story could be told in so many different ways. And one story, when I get up to it, is about how his parents' story could be told in so many ways, which actually maybe it was this one. Yeah, I think it was actually the one I was talking about, the meta story, where he talks about his parents and how his parents' story could be told in all these different mediums in all different ways and still mean something, which I do feel that's true. And his origins is told all the time. Alright, the third story is called Better Days, and it's like a Batman Beyond kind of thing without Terry. It is Damian instead. I did not like the art. It was really grainy. The art was really weird, but I love the story for it. It was Bruce being 75 years old. He's kind of Batman, kind of not Batman. Alfred's in a wheelchair, got oxygen on him, and everyone, has their place. And we get to see Bruce like, you know what, I'm going to be Batman one more time. He's like, I have aches and pains, but I'm going to be Batman. So the story is just really fun. You know, it's him celebrating his 75th anniversary, or 75th birthday, I guess, anniversary also, with the people that are close to him, and also saying, yeah, you know, I'm old, like, I can still kick some ass. So, I enjoyed it, even though the art was not good. But I thought at least it was acceptable to enjoy the story still, because it's a little clearer in the background. This, I guess, the fourth story we're up to now. The fourth story is him saving somebody. It's like literally 2 pages. The art was really cool, but really not a big story at all. It's like, oh, stay here, and that's it. And Batman saves somebody. That's the story. So we get the next story, which is Phantom Stranger showing Batman if he did save his parents, what would happen. He's like, Bruce would be happy, but everyone else that he loves now wouldn't be. You know, Commissioner Gordon, like, got shot, and he's not doing well. Barbara's always by his side. Dick Grayson became a criminal, so a lot of bad things happened to the people he loved, and he's like, you know what, I have to go. You know, this is a great life, but you're right. You know, things happen for a reason. I love the line they used in this issue was, you know, you have to make some mistakes to you know, win the war, kind of. You have to make some mistakes and risk yourself sometimes. And I did really like that line. And then we get the next story, which was Gotopia, so the actual Detective Comics issue story. And I honestly really enjoyed this. I did not expect to like this issue so much, but it's about Gotham kind of being perfect. You have Batman wearing this white suit, Batgirl teaming up with Batwoman, we got some of the Birds of Prey, and they're all perfect. And Bruce realizes this is not real. Scarecrow is doing something to us. This is not real. The art was great. I love the art for this series, and it felt fresh, even though we've seen this type of story before. It still felt really fresh, and every page I wanted to learn more. It's like, oh, how did that girl turn into this? How about Dick Grayson? You know, every page I really wanted to learn more, and I actually will be picking up Detective Comics to finish up Gotopia. I really enjoyed the first issue, so if you're going to buy this issue, you know, it's kind of worth it for Gotopia. And Catwoman was Robin in this. I thought that was so creative, so I really enjoyed that. The second story was this Scott Snyder story, and I thought that was one of the weaker ones, actually. The art is from the same person who does The Wake, which I never felt like that fit Batman. It fits The Wake perfectly, but never fits Batman. And they've used it before for secondary stories, and it just doesn't look right for Batman, in my opinion. But the second story is about Batman having his legacy, and all these Batman, it was kind of confusing, but it was all these Batman taking over for each other. So every 27 years there'll be a new Batman, but it doesn't seem like, it might be a clone, or it might be just a new Batman. And it just seems like all these people are taking over some Bat costume. It's like, oh, there's a new Batgirl, there's a new Batwing, you know? So it was an okay story. I didn't love the Scott Snyder story, which I was kind of surprised. But this is actually really worth it. There's actually a theme going on here. It's not random stories, which a lot of these anniversary issues end up doing. It had a theme of the 75th anniversary and, you know, Bruce's past and why it's told so many times and still interesting. Gotopia was entertaining. Most of these stories were very entertaining. I didn't feel bored with any of these stories. And sometimes with a long anniversary issue like this, you will tend to be bored with at least one story. And maybe the Scott Snyder one I did feel a little bored with. But most of them were really entertaining, even if the art was a little weaker in some of them. But I give it 4 stars. I'll be picking up the next issue of Detective Comics to continue Gotopia. I think it seems like a really fun little mini story arc. But hope you guys enjoyed. I think if you want to spend the money, it was worth it. The stories are definitely worth it. It is $8. I warn you on that one. But for me, I felt like it was worth it. So I'm going to say pick it up. I give it 4 stars. And guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Unknown and the rent situations. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.